Hey Capricorn, I'm Daniel Redwolf and welcome to my channel. For those of you who are new, welcome. For those of you who are returning, welcome back. These are general readings for July 2023. They may not resonate with everyone. If they do, definitely leave a comment below. Like, share, and subscribe. So I'm going to pull up 8 cards and then some clarification cards and we'll go from there. The one that just popped out was the Six of Pentacles. And if you want to, if they resonates with you, if you connect with me, go ahead and leave a comment what you thought about the reading, of how it resonated with you. And if you're interested in getting a one-on-one with me, go ahead and follow the link below and my website, bodysoulspirit.co. There's a link below and a promo code for you to get a reading with me. And so let's see what comes up for Capricorn. So you got the Three of Swords. So you had the Six of Pentacles, the Three of Swords. You have the Seven of Cups. The Hierophant. The Knight of Pentacles. The Ace of Cups. The Ten of Pentacles, and the Justice card. So right off the bat, the one that's really catching my attention is the Ace of Cups. This for me signifies that there is a new beginning. There is something happening. Something new is going to be coming in during the month of July. This actually for me goes more in terms of love, in terms of romance. For those of you who are single, there is definitely a possibility of a relationship manifesting during the month of July. And for a couple other of you, it's that you're finally manifesting a home. You're finally manifesting a new property, or you're moving into a different space. And the reason I'm saying that is because you have the Ten of Pentacles and the Justice card. So every time I see those two, it's the Justice card. Every time I see the Ten of Pentacles, I always feel like that's more of a home type of situation where you're making an investment in a property, you're making an investment in that. And then with the Justice cards, that means that there is some legal documents. So there might be a contract that's going to have to be signed. So for those of you in a relationship, or maybe you are in a relationship and you're finally moving in together, or you're finally going from renting to owning, whatever it may be, but there is definitely something being born here. There is a new beginning. And for those of you who are single, there's a new relationship coming. For those of you, if some of you, it actually might be an earth sign, just because you have the Knight of Pentacles. And so that's going to be someone who is, it could be a little bit younger than you, or if they are not younger than you, they do have that young mentality, that young feeling, that energy of a younger soul. So, and they actually, the words that just came through my mind was like, a younger soul doesn't mean that it's a childish soul. So it's about being able to know that it's like this person is going to be mature, that they're going to know what it is. The month of July, I feel like it's going to bring into play family or people asking you for money. I'm not sure what that's about, but that is, I get that with the Six of Pentacles. For me, this is always an amount of giving, of being able to share your wealth with others. However, you have the Three of Swords right next to it. With the Three of Swords next to it, that means that you have to be careful. You have to be careful with who it is you're giving, because there is, you have to find that balance. You have to be able to discern who is it, who's worth giving money to. And during the month of July, people are probably going to come up to you and ask you, hey, can I borrow some money? Some of them might definitely pay you back, others might not. So this is really more about you holding your boundaries, you holding your beliefs firm, and saying, hey, you know what? No. Thank you so much for asking. However, I can't do that at this time. And you have to be okay with people walking away, right? With people getting upset with that, right? So they're just, and that's the reason for that, is because they're making me feel like it's time to really start paying attention to your finances, paying attention to how much money is actually going out and how much money is coming in. So it's about really beginning to save, because now your expenses are gonna eventually start going up. not really sure why I'm not seeing why, besides like the home or the contracts coming up. That's maybe that's why. But there is definitely an increase in expenses during the month of July. That's going to help. That's going to force you to really put yourself in a space where you gotta hold on to every single penny. Some of you, they're making me feel like you're thinking about retirement. You're thinking, and I'm getting that with the Hierophant here. Every time I get the Hierophant, it's more about you're finally going to seek legal counsel. You're going to seek guidance from someone who can help you get to where you want to go, to be able to get your dreams settled, and especially is like get everything in order. So whatever it might be that you might be setting up a will, you might be able to set up a trust, you might finally get all your things in order. Some of you might be getting life insurance. So this is the month of July is going to be the month for Capricorns of getting shit in order, getting stuff organized, getting stuff prepared. Right? We always prepare for travels and everything, but we never prepare for our actual life. Sometimes we wait so long to start saving for retirement. So whatever it may be, this is the month of you finally getting everything in alignment. For a couple of you, I really feel like there is definitely some in your work environment. There is definitely some money going to come through. So there is definitely an increase in finances that will definitely help you. For a couple of you, it might actually be a transition, moving from one job to the next. And the reason I'm saying that is with the Justice card, I feel like you might be leaving a environment which is not being valuing you as much. However, and that's very stressful. You're going to leave it for a little bit of one that's a little bit better. So one of the biggest things that they're also telling me is try not to compare. Try not to compare um, where you are at as opposed to like where your friends are at. So I know that happens a lot where we compare based on who's in our circle. It's like I should already be here. I'm at this age. I should be in this place. I should be um, at this point in my life. So letting that stuff go is really going to be another thing that you're going to have to work through during the month of July. But it's really going to be important for you to start seeking out a mentor, a teacher, someone who's going to be able to help you. So it might be, like I said, like getting legal documents ready. So you're going to be wanting to get that professional, or maybe it's going to be someone in the business field where you're like, hey, I want to be able to step into the next phase, into the next challenge of my life professionally. What is your guidance? What is your best thing? For a couple of you, I really feel like you might actually be stepping into another a program. Some of you might be going back to school to finish a degree or starting a degree. There is a couple of you that are definitely going to be stepping into going back to further your education to learn a little bit. And it could also just be online courses or even just watching videos, whatever it may be. But you are going to start getting more wisdom because you're going to start stepping into the next space where you are starting a new chapter in your life. So a new job, like I said. So again, month of July, really pay attention to what is happening in terms of your friendships, in terms of your family friendships, of your acquaintances, because someone in there is going to want to try to take advantage of you. Try to get away from that, just so you don't end up in resentment. So it's really about holding your boundaries up and saying, hey, I don't resonate with that. It's like, I agree. I know you're excited. I know you're excited for that project. If you're like, hey, I really do not want to invest. They keep saying, trust your gut, trust your intuition. That is really going to be your biggest indicator when it comes to for people coming in and asking you for money. There is definitely going to be transformation during the month of July, and that is going to be because you're finishing something. So it might be that you're finishing a training program, you're finishing, maybe you just finished school and you're starting something, and you're finally starting to step into your actual career. So some of you might actually be starting a new job during July, or maybe you might be offered a new job. This is the time for you, and I'm saying that because of the seven of cups. The seven of cups, with especially with that butterfly on top, that to me tells me, hey, it's time for you to show up all in, be all yourself, be excited about this new opportunity, and just show up unapologetically as yourself, because that's really what it's going to be important. People are going to start finally coming up to you for guidance and for wisdom, because you're going to be stepping into more of a manager role. So it's being able to show up and hold your boundaries, hold firm, hold those things where you're like, okay, what is it that I need? What do I need? you got to first model it. So you got to first model the actions you want before people can actually follow you. Let's see what other validation cards come up. So it's interesting. The Three of Swords also came up on this deck. So betrayal is a possibility for a couple of you. Like I said, it could be a betrayal because of money. It could be a betrayal in a relationship. There is something happening. So there is going to be a spark of jealousy, or there's going to be a something that's going to teach not teach you. There's going to be an experience where it's going to be like, hey, there's a betrayal. There's a number three. So every time, for me, intuitively, every time I see the number three, or like a triangle, that to me means that there's a third person in a relationship. That it doesn't have to be a person. It could be that there is something else that is hurting the relationship. It could be maybe this other person is spending time doing an activity, whatever it may be. So it's about paying attention to what is happening if it is in a love relationship. And that could actually be that for some of you, maybe during the month of July, there might be a filing for a divorce. So that is definitely a possibility, just because there is the Justice card there. Then you have the Knight of Swords. So the Knight of Swords right here, again, there is a possibility of you finally running out, getting out of a relationship, getting out of or even a toxic environment where you're just like, hey. But however, even with this card, you see the eagle, the bird up top. I'm going to assume it's an eagle or a hawk. That is that, hey, Spirit's watching you, Spirit's guiding you, Spirit's moving. Ace of Wands, you have the opportunity for a new job, a new career, a new beginning. There is definitely something happening. And then the Nine of Wands. This is, again, holding your boundaries, holding firm. So it's, again, reminding you that even though you are starting a new chapter of your life, or even though if you're walking away from a relationship, overall it's going to be, are you willing to hold your boundaries? Are you willing to hold firm on them? Are you willing to finally say, I'm willing to stand alone, and I know people might walk away from my life or might not agree with my choices. However, I have to trust my instincts. I have to trust my intuition. Ace of Wands, that's really for me intuition. Trust your gut, trust your intuitive side, especially because it has it right on the third eye. So again, trust your intuition, trust your gut during the month, and the relationship. Some of you, maybe you're not married, or you're just in a partnership where it's finally becoming to the point where it's toxic, where one person's giving more than the other. So it's about you're needing to finally move on, and that could be with the Nine of Swords. It's like that's maybe what's keeping you up at night, right? So. And then you have the Death card, again, endings, beginnings. There's a rebirth. There's finally a new beginning. And then there's the Knight of Rods. The Knight of Rods. So again, a lot of fire energy coming through. The fire energy for me, that really means like it's time to ignite the flame within you to finally take action. Some of it you've been on your mind about maybe leaving a job or maybe leaving a relationship or whatever it may be. You're finally going to get that it's going to finally ignite during the month of July, where you're going to be able to want to take action, to be able to move into that space. Kind of, gosh, I feel like it's like, holy shit, like it feels like so negative, but there is so much energy that's positive within this, because it's you're owning your power, you're transforming, you're allowing yourself to just say, hey, this is who I am, and I'm no longer gonna sacrifice my beliefs, my integrity. This is who I am, and you're finally stepping into that. And yeah, sometimes I'm not gonna lie, the Nine of Swords reminds us you might stand alone, people might leave you, and that's totally fine. You have to be willing to be okay with people walking away. And to tell you the truth, that is never comfy, that is never easy. It's there can be a lonely period. However, when you start walking away from a relationship or a work environment, right? People are going to be like, why are you leaving? You're never, and even it could come even from family. That might even come from family where they're going to be like, oh, you're going to hate their job. It's going to be the same thing. However, it's, again, during the month of July, maybe just trying to keep it to someone who can really hold that stuff in the vault and really not share with anybody. And that's what I think really what you're going to experience during the month of July. Who can you tell things to? Because sometimes you might tell someone something and they might go tell it to someone else. So whoever you tell, make sure that they keep it in the vault. That's what I always find, that you want to make sure you know who your friends are. Like for me, recently I had an experience where I had shared something with someone else, and then all of a sudden I found out that they were sharing it with everybody else. I'm like, hey, that's like I've already lost my trust in you. You've shared a story that was not yours to share. So this is the month of paying attention to who are your friends, who are you, who is someone that you can actually trust, and that's there to support you. But again, it's a moment of rebirth, a moment of expansion, a moment of transformation, because you've had a couple, you've had a lot of Capricorns have actually had a good last 30 years, and there has definitely been ups and downs. However, right now that Pluto's moving over into your other house, right, it's kind of back into your, I think it's like the first house or something like that. So again, you're finishing off the year. However, it's like the last final cleanup before you move into the next space. So again, it's time to get rid of all the old, anything that doesn't serve you, especially when it comes to work and relationships. This is the month of reigniting that soul, reclaiming your power, reclaiming your whatever it is you want, your desires, right? So a lot of you guys might have not done what it is you wanted to do, and now the universe is like, hey, you need to start doing what you want to do, right? You've been putting everybody else first, second, and third, and yourself last. It's time for you to step in and take ownership and allow yourself. And your ancestor guides say, back to basics. So it's going back to the basics, going back to saying what it is that you need. All you need is yourself. You have your intuition, you have yourself, right? It is all that you need. Sometimes we feel like we need so many things around us. We need all these people around us. However, we don't. We just need to be able to come back to ourselves and say, I'm okay with who I am. I'm okay with where I'm at, and I'm ready to make that shift into the next phase of my life. I'm ready to go to that. So again, going back to the basics, going back to whatever it is you need. Maybe a couple of you guys, I don't know if you're starting a podcast or something, or starting something from scratch. You don't need to know about the perfect folder. You don't, like if you're starting an office or a business, whatever. It doesn't have to have the perfect folder. You don't have to have the perfect desk, the perfect computer. You stop looking for perfection is really what they're ultimately saying, because it's about coming back to you and saying what works for you. I know for a long time, when especially when I had started my channel years ago, it was about, oh my God, do I have the right camera? Do I have this? Or how's the lighting? And I'm just like, that was exhausting. It was like, holy shit. And yeah, I got comments where it's like, stop saying, stop doing this, stop doing that. And, oh, your audio sucked, or the video was blurry, all this shit. And I'm telling you, it's like, it eats you. It really it attacks you. So be okay with criticism. Be okay with that, and just push it away, walk it away. It's like, hey, I'm here, I'm playing big, and I'm not going to make myself small. So again, be willing to be in the arena getting your butt kicked. Be willing to transform, because as you go through the discomfort, through adversity, that is what's going to trigger the transformation. And ultimately, you are going to begin to transform just like a butterfly. You're going to be able to finally launch your career. You're going to finally be able to move into a career that you like. For some of you, like I said, maybe you are leaving a relationship and you're finally going to step back into the workforce. Step into it. Be brave, be bold, and just know that you've got what it takes. Don't overthink stuff during the month of July, especially for you Capricorns. They're like, you're usually, more often than not, you don't let things get to you, but there are moments where it does hit you, where it does affect you, and that's the moment when you just got to be like, hey, it's okay. Have your shame buddy, your friend that you can call, and that's going to be like, hey, I know that sucks, however, let's sit through it. You're going to get through it. We're going to move through it, right? So whatever comes through during the month of July, even though it might feel like it it's going to be a lot of shifts, a lot of changes. It is going through the motions of transformation, which is just you moving through the discomfort zone. But as you move through it, enjoy the process, enjoy the what you're experiencing, enjoy owning your power, because that is what's going to ultimately help you as you step into the later part of the year. So as you step into the later part of the year, that's when you're going to finally start noticing, like, holy shit, I'm so glad I actually went through what I needed to go through during the month of, right, June, July, August. So you're going to be grateful that you went through that, because now you're going to be able to step into the role, into your purpose, and you just got to go through the motions of feeling uncomfortable for a little bit, right? But overall, you are going to have a good month. You are going to open yourself up and move into that space where you really want to move. And I think that's pretty much it for you, Capricorn. Again, hope you enjoyed the reading. If it resonated with you, feel free to leave me a comment to let me know how it resonated with you, or how's your month going. And if you want a session with me, go ahead and follow the link below to my website and just use the promo code YouTube or YouTube-50. And then for a limited time, I'm offering a bigger discount, because I know some people had asked me if I was willing to help people out, giving a little bit more of a discount. And I'm like, okay, let's go. So go ahead and leave a comment below. And if there's any way I can help you, reach out to me, schedule a session. I look forward to working with you. And I can't wait to see how July goes. And I'll see you back in August. Take care, Capricorns. Bye-bye.